I thought I wasn't going to be talking about J. Cole anymore, but here we are. So, Noname just dropped a track titled Song 33 in response to J. Cole's track, Snow on the Bluff. If you haven't listened to Snow on the Bluff, I highly recommend you go do that now. But the general concept of the song is basically that he's addressing a woman, which turns out is Noname, and is basically praising her for being educated and very outspoken about Black Lives Matter. He also mentions in the track that he does not feel properly equipped or properly educated to be a leader in this time. And he also asks that Noname, or well, I assumed he was talking about people in general when I first heard it, but people in general as well as Noname who are well educated, to not withhold what you know, but rather use it to educate others. Now, this sparked a debate online about basically, so Black women have always had to basically educate themselves as well as others. And it's frustrating because it feels like these people should be, or well, people in general should be educating themselves. Why do Black women have to be the ones to do all this? And it gets annoying, I get it. Let's talk about the track though. So she starts off with, saw a demon on my shoulder, it was looking like patriarchy, like scrubbing blood off the ceiling and bleaching another carpet, how my house get haunted. Now, the demon on her shoulder, obviously patriarchy. And I don't think it's just to her, I think it's just more like a demon in general. So patriarchy is always, like, I always associate it with men who think that they know more than anyone else. And because they know more than everyone else, or feel that way, they actively put down women first, but then other people that they assume know less. Patriarchy in this case, I'm going to associate with the government because, come on, the government's basically a patriarchy. But basically, like, you can say the government is basically doing everything they can to put down everyone that isn't a white man. So that's why it kind of feels like a lot of the things that are happening in the world, like all the Black people who have died in the last week, who were lynched in the last week, is just, it feels like it's being swept under the rug. And it really is, because no one's saying anything about it on any sort of outlet other than social media. Like, why do I have to go to Twitter to find out all these things? Like, this is something that should be more widespread than just like in this circle that I've created for myself. The scrubbing blood off the ceiling and bleaching another carpet could kind of be seen as them just kind of sweeping these things under the rug that they don't want to talk about. It could also just be seen as, like, in reference to all these people who have died recently. Like, if you turn on the news, you're not going to see anything about the protest or anything about, like, the people who have died. You're only going to see just random shit. Like, and it's fucked up because the general public doesn't want to hear about people dying. They want to hear about violence and other, like, little things like that really aren't as, like, they're important, but they're not as important as, like, just innocent people dying for no reason. Yeah, and, like, that's kind of them just, like, these people are getting killed in your house and you don't want anyone to know, so you're just going to clean up. She goes on to say, Why Toy and Body don't embody all the life that she wanted? A baby just 19. I know I dream all black. I seen her everything. Immortalizing tweets all caps. They say they found her dead. So, Toyin Salo was a activist for Black Lives Matter. And on, I think like 15 days ago now, my math's probably wrong, but about a week, 2 weeks ago, she tweeted about how she was sexually assaulted. However, a few days later, she went missing. And then just this week, they found her dead. Now, no one's talking about this either, except for people on social media. And the only reason I'm even aware of it is because of the circle that I surround myself in. Like, I'm sure if I went to my local news, they would never say anything about it. If I go to CNN, if I go to Fox, for sure. Like, no one's really talking about this. Or if they do talk about it, it's going to be like a 30-second blurb and then they're done. These things need to be talked about. And this is definitely something that is premeditated, because it's like, yo, you, like, how's someone who just talked about this gonna go missing and then die? Like, okay. Moving on. The chorus goes into one girl missing, another one go missing, one girl missing, another. And this is basically in reference not only to her, but to all the women, and especially black women, who have gone missing like over the years, and this year alone too. Like, it's absurd. Like, why is no one talking about this? Like, like, it's almost like the way she says it's like, oh, it's just another thing that happens. Like, that's kind of how people are acting about it. Like, no, it's not. It's not just a thing that happens. It shouldn't happen. Then she gets into the second verse. But N-words in the back, quiet as a church mouse. Basement studio when duty calls to get the verse out. I guess the ego hurt now. It's time to go to work. Wow, look at him go. He really about to write about me when the world's in smokes. When it's people in trees, when George was begging for his mother, saying he couldn't breathe, you thought to write about me? This is very targeted to J. Cole, because, I mean, the majority of his song was about her. And yes, he chose to write about Noname. Like, that's the song we got. But I don't know, like, I didn't expect anything from J. Cole about any of this. Honestly, like, I expected him to maybe say something, but, like, him being at the protest was my way of interpreting him saying something. But it's also kind of funny because he went out there the day after Noname tweeted originally, so maybe it's like, oh, well, yeah, I probably should go out there. But yeah, his ego's definitely hurt, because, I mean, J. Cole's kind of been known to be that rapper that talks about these sorts of issues. It could also be kind of like seen as really just talking to anyone who hasn't said anything. I don't know, like, there's some people that just don't say anything. I mean, going back to the Dave Chappelle special, the streets are talking. Like, do you really want to hear from a celebrity right now? Like, but regardless, yes, J. Cole could have written a song about what's going on in the world, but he didn't. And it probably would have been better if he had written a song about what's going on, but he himself said that he didn't feel educated enough to talk about it. and to look to Noname specifically because she is educated. And I don't know, like going back to her original tweet about it, it just kind of felt like she was trying to antagonize people, but that's whatever. Moving on to the third verse. Yo, but little did I know Myrene would be the bother. It's trans women being murdered, and this all he can offer? And this is what y'all receive, distracting you from the convo with organizers. They talking about abolishing the police. And this is the new world order. We democratize an Amazon. We burn down borders. This is the new vanguard. This is the new vanguard. I'm the new vanguard. So she continues on talking, or like going back to what J. Cole said originally. I mean, I don't think he said it, your reading would be a bother. Like, he is kind of praising you on that. But anyways, it's a trans woman being murdered and this all I can offer. Like, this kind of refers back to the second verse where, like, there's all these things happening in the world, but you chose to write about me instead of what's happening. And then the line where it's like, and this what y'all receive? Like, it's, I don't know. This could really be seen like two ways. Like, it could be talking about the people who are content with what J. Cole said, and like he doesn't have to say anything. Or it could also just be that like she's saying like, yo, how are you only talking about me rather than like what's going on? I mean, that one, yeah, I guess that one's kind of straightforward. Distracting you from convo with organizers. I don't think he said anything about that either. Like, that could be more talking about the news, because again, they're not talking about this shit no more. Like, the only time you find out any of this information is through social media at this point, which is, again, just absurd. Like, why is no one talking about it? Like, everywhere, everyone's talking about abolishing police, but no one else, like the bigger like the general public isn't talking about it. It feels like it feels really small right now, and it's kind of meant to be that way. It feels like, because going back to the patriarchy, they're like, nah, we ain't gonna let you talk about this. Democratizing Amazon. I mean, she's always been pretty heavily against Amazon, as well as most people have. Just because Amazon's basically, like, it's becoming a monopoly. Like, they have everything. And they often do take away a lot from small businesses and just even people in general. Like, what are you really paying for? Like, it's definitely convenient, sure. But honestly, we're at the point where you can order things directly from the person, and sometimes they're actually going to give you a little bit of a discount because you're not ordering from Amazon. And then you also have like local businesses that need the money more than Amazon. Like, Amazon's going to be fine. Like, don't worry about them. Like, sure, it's convenient, but like, just kind of go out there. Like, help support your locals. Come on. This is the new vanguard. This is the new vanguard. I'm the new vanguard. It really feels like she's taking what J. Cole said and claiming it. So a vanguard is originally meant to be like a group of people leading the way in new development or ideas. And so it sounds like she's like, okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna take that mantle. I'll be the leader. Like, and this is the part that makes me confused. So, is this a beef anymore? Because she's like, yeah, you ain't saying nothing, but I will take on this role that you're not gonna take. I don't know. I mean, maybe she's just like, I guess I'll take it. I don't know. I guess we'll find out more information as people decipher it a little bit more. I mean, this song literally dropped like an hour ago, 2 hours ago now. So there's a lot to take in. Like, Noname's definitely a lyricist. Like, quite a bit on a different level than J. Cole and other artists. So she's not the type of person that you would really fully understand everything on first listen or first 5-10 listens. Like, you gotta keep playing it back. And the song is short, so it should take less time than usual. But that's mostly what I got from it. In the comments below, let me know what your stance on this beef is. I mean, I enjoyed the J. Cole song. It wasn't appropriate, I guess, for what's going on right now. Because, yeah, he could have done more. But I kind of took it as like him saying, yo, don't look to me for this stuff because I don't know. And yeah, this song, I mean, it was cool. It's short. It's produced by Madlib. This beat definitely sounds familiar. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Yeah, in the comments, argue. Because this is definitely, like, I don't know, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. Like, Cole fucked up. He should have made a song about what's going on instead of making a song about Noname. He could have done he could have just talked to her directly about how he feels. But he made a song. And like I said, I never expected Cole to really say anything. Like, maybe a tweet. I didn't expect him to put out a song about it. But yeah, J. Cole said what he said, and Noname fired back. Yeah, appropriately, I might add. But yeah, let me know what you thought about this track. I think it's a good track, and it definitely goes into what I feel would have been the main issues that people have with Cole's song. Anyways, like and subscribe if you want to see me talk about music more. I really hope this is the last time I have to talk about this conversation because it's... Yeah, anyways. That's all I got. Stay safe out there. Thank you. Oh, and before I forget, description, there's links. Donate, sign petitions, do what you can. All right, that's all. Bye.